One more concept you might think of, and you can, as I talk, you can think of, does this apply to the child in mind, that you have in mind? Um, some negative thoughts, upset thoughts fester, or angry thoughts. They fester. The person sort of is obsessing about them. They can't let go. And when a child has that, uh, what happens then, it becomes toxic, right? It grinds them down. Uh, they can become very hopeless, and they believe that this is the way the world is, as opposed to changing and growing. Things are always going to be this way. So we want to talk about that with kids in these terms. And so here's a metaphor that we developed, and this works for everyone. You can get more abstract and complex for older kids, teenagers, and adults, or you can make it very simple and concrete for younger kids. But let's start with the image first, if I hide the words for a minute. So this here is a stream, but let's call it the time stream, okay? And so here's the time stream. It's moving towards you, and here you are in the now. This is the bridge of now. You're standing here in the present, right? And these little dots, these circles, these spheres, are floating in the time stream coming towards you, and these are experiences. And as they come towards you, there are, I'm going to be black and white for the purposes of this poster, positive or negative experiences. So we have full ones, let's call them negative experiences floating towards you. And then here are the orange ones that we're going to call positive experiences. So here they come, they're floating down the time stream towards you. And you have a basket, and you're collecting these experiences in your mind, right? In your psyche. Which ones do you want to hold on to? If you pick up a purple one in your hand, that could be toxic, right? The purple one could be just acidic. It could be burning your hands. It could make you bleed if you hold on to these negative thoughts. They're toxic, and they hurt you if you hold on to them over time. Now that you know that, if you hold on to that, would you choose to hold on to it and have it melt your hand? Or would you quickly drop it and let go of it? Right? Let's place it back in the river, let it float downstream, let the negative ones go. Don't hold on to them. On purpose, can you let go of that idea and instead hold on to the orange ones? And in fact, if you have any positive experiences, even, with our 5-point scale of shades of gray, even if it's like a 3, 4, or 5, if it's medium, 4, fairly positive, or 5, very positive, stare at it. Embrace that positive experience, and that's gratitude. I am so thankful I picked this up. These orbs, these spheres, are nurturing. They're fertilizing. So these are the ones that we want to save in our basket, right? So how do we do that? What does that look like? Well, for some kids, for some people, just knowing this and thinking, okay, I'm going to stop thinking about this now. I'm going to decide, road to happiness, I'm going to decide to think about happier thoughts. I'm going to decide to use my glasses half full and say, well, at least. Right? I'm going to decide to put on my rose-colored lens glasses. For some people, it might be a little bit harder. And I've worked with kids around a variety of things that were just sort of obsessive topics that continually made them feel bad. One child had been bullied in the past, or a few kids that I worked with had been bullied. And that had very negative effects on them, created a lot of fear, a lot of sadness, and made them feel bad about themselves. I had some other kids who had been going through other life transitions, such as deaths of a pet or a loved one. And so we actually did, besides, in those cases, an actual funeral, let's use the example of the child who was bullied and was very negative about themselves. I'm weak, I'm powerless, I have an external locus of control, I can't control my life. That child developed low self-esteem. And that bully was still very present in their mind, much like this purple toxic orb that was like melting their skin. It was melting their emotions. So some things that you could do is have the child actually write or draw on a piece of paper about that topic. Draw your bully. What do you wish you could do to the bully? Draw your situation, right? Write about it, write a poem, get those feelings out. How did you feel about it? How do you think about it as you look at this page? Write it down, get all those feelings out on the paper, and then you decide, how am I going to dispose of this? This is the letting go piece. You might rip it up into little itty bitty pieces of paper, go outside and bury it, have a funeral for it, have your family witness it. I am sick of these feelings. I am going to bury them. Goodbye. You could rip them up. Some people have flushed the negative thoughts or experiences that they wanted to really do a ritual or do an act that would help them to get rid of it, to let go of it. Some people have burned it in their barbecue grill, especially one that you can close, so paper embers don't fly out. So burying it, ripping it up into itty bitty pieces, and then throwing it in a stream nearby. And you can literally watch them go down the stream, and you can watch them leave. And doing something concrete that has emotion to it and has witnesses, people you care about, if they're witnessing it as well, really sometimes can help someone more forcefully let go of and put down that toxic thought that's really dragging them down. Let me check time. We're doing okay. I'll just give you one quick extension of that. Sometimes I'll tell kids a therapeutic metaphor, a story, or a positive visualization, or in which I tell a story about, we call it the burr on the beach. You might tell this story to a child also, and they could draw the scene. Let's say you're walking on the beach, and you're walking along, and then all of a sudden you feel explosive pain in your toe. You look down, and one of those little burrs, one of those little very prickly seed pods that you sometimes see on the beach, it gets stuck in your big toe. These things are like needles, the finest needles. They get in there and you see stars. It's so painful. You drop down and very carefully you pull it out of your foot, right? Well, you get up and you're like, wow, all right, I'm going to continue on my walk. I have to get back to where I was sitting on the beach. So you continue walking. But what are your eyes most likely looking for the rest of that walk? Where are your eyes? They are down, pointing down at the beach. You're looking at every step to make sure that you don't see another burr. You don't step on another burr. So your eyes are looking for that negative, right? They're there to protect you. So you're really focused. In fact, you might even be obsessed about not stepping on that burr. You don't want that pain again. But if you do that, you actually you're on that walk, you're looking down, you might miss out on some other beautiful things if you're focused on that burr on the beach. As you're walking, you might miss, someone over here just to the right of your path, someone dropped a $20 bill. Or maybe to your left, there's a whole group of kids that who are getting in a game of soccer, football, or paddleball. So you might be missing out on some great things. Maybe there's an amazing sunset that you're completely missing because your eyes are focusing on the negative, because you don't want that to happen again. Your eyes are trained down on that negative thing. So what could you do? Could you maybe just glance down occasionally to make sure that you're safe, but still look around, look for the positive? So that's just a story that might reinforce this idea of, if you only look for the negative, you might miss out on beautiful things in life. And could you start to look for some of the positives while still knowing that your challenge is there? That burr, that obstacle is there.